Hey guys, it's Alex. Welcome back to a brand new video. And in this video, I'm gonna be doing a second episode of my series called Web Design Tips and Tricks. And basically, in this tutorial, I will be showing you how to make a site navigation that toggles whenever you click, a toggle button. So these are getting more and more popular as the years go. I'm not really sure, but it is kind of a trend. Maybe it's because of the Google material design, because they usually do a lot of site navigations there. But I'm gonna show you how to make one. It's super easy. So here, let me just show you what I have. So I have a website. When you go, oops, I have to go to my desktop, and there we go. So here is my folder. I have an index.html, main.css, and functions.js. In my HTML file, I have all the basics. So, meta, link, this here links the main.css. And I'm also going to be using ion icons for the toggle button. So you can go to ionicons.com, scroll down, copy the link, and insert it like any other style sheet like this. And then I just have included jQuery. When you write Google jQuery CDN, you go to hosted libraries and you search for jQuery, and you basically just copy this into your website. Um, and I have also included my functions.js file. So we're pretty much ready to go, and let's start styling. So the first thing I'm gonna do in my main.css is say margin 0, padding 0, padding 0, background color F8, F8. Well, actually, that's not even necessary, but I always like to do it. So F8, F8, F8. And then I'm gonna say font size for the default paragraphs to be 16 pixels and the color to every text to be 333. Alright. Now we're gonna go back to our index.html file, and I'm gonna write a simple comment that says site navigation. Navigation. There we go. Now I'm gonna create a div, and I'm gonna give it a class of side nav div, and I'm gonna write basically hello. And then what I'm also gonna do is, because we need a button, I'm actually gonna have to go to ion icons again. I'm gonna write hamburger. There we go. Copy this. I don't know if we should close it. Let me just, there we go. And then you're gonna write, well, you can do a link, but I don't want to do a link because it works even with a paragraph. But so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say p class equal, well, actually, let's even make it a span. Class equals, or you know what, no, I'm sorry, but I think the best way to do it is with an I, because most people use it. I mean, it doesn't really matter, you can even do it with an H1, it's up to you. I class, and then paste the class in, and then I'm also gonna add a class of nav toggle, and then close the I. Let's refresh, and there we go. Alright, so let's start styling. I'm gonna write a simple comment in here and say site navigation. Then we're gonna target nav toggle. What was it? Nav toggle, yep. And we're gonna say font size 26 pixels. 26 pixels. Let's do 28. Let's do 32. Alright, then I'm also going to float it to the right, because we want it to come from the right to the left, the menu. And then I'm going to add a little margin margin right equals 15 pixels, and then margin top equals like 10 pixels maybe. Oops, not my Spotify. Let's try 30 pixels here. Yeah, okay, I think that looks good, and I think we should make it a little bit bigger, so it's easier for us to click. I might even do 38. Yeah, perfect. And then you can change the cursor to pointer, so when we hover over it, we get that nice feeling that it's clickable, or else, we don't get that nice feeling. Now we're gonna target our side nav. So, side nav. Oops. Let's see, side nav, yep. And we're gonna say position relative. Display inline block, I don't think it matters, but we're gonna do it. Inline block with, let's say, 330 pixels. Height 100, viewport height. And let's say background color FFF. Alright, nice. And then we're also going to float it to the right. Alright, but you know what, actually, I think we need to do position absolute. Yep, we do actually. And we're going to say top 0 and then right 0. And when it's position absolute, we don't really need float right. Or something better would be to even do position fixed. But we are gonna be creating an overlay for the body, so you'll see what I mean by that. But basically, whenever we toggle the side navigation, you won't be able to scroll down anymore. But so position and absolute and fixed works, but just in case, use fixed. And then we're gonna say, well, actually we don't need to say the index, nothing, but we're gonna change the display to none, so we hide it for now. Or actually, what we're gonna do is, let me bring it back. I'm gonna say, because, well, let's first style it, alright? So, I'm gonna add box sizing, border box, WebKit box sizing, and I'll explain in a second what that does. Box sizing, border box. So if you don't know already, box sizing basically means that if you add padding or a border, the width of the div won't expand. It will stay the same, but the padding will be inwards instead of, outwards. So it won't be increasing the height. And that's really important because we're gonna say right minus the width, the exact width of that, and if the width is constantly changing depending on the border or the padding, that's not really good. And then WebKit and Moz are the required prefixes for it to work on Chrome and Mozilla. So we get that cross-browser compatibility. And then we can say finally border right, actually border left. Let's say 10 pixels. 10 pixels solid CCC. And then I'll show you an example of the box sizing. There we go. So now watch if you remove the box sizing. You can see how it expands. So now the width is going to be 340, as you can see here. But when we, add it, that width is 330 with the 10 pixel border. So let's say just 1 pixel solid. There we go. And then I'm going to say padding from the top. Well, actually, let's just say padding top and bottom. 15, well, actually, let's just do 15 pixels everywhere. And as you can see, again, the height doesn't expand, but if you remove it, it expands. Alright. And then I forgot to say font family sans serif. I haven't included any fonts, but you can go ahead and include whatever font you want and define it here. But I haven't included any in my HTML, so that's why I am going to just say font family sans serif. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically say right minus 330 pixels. Alright, and because it's position fixed, we don't have an overlay. But if we have a position relative, and we say margin right here, and we float it to the right, it works that way. But you can see how we have this really unwanted overlay. So position fixed takes care of that. And I'm not really sure, but I think position absolute will be the same result. Yeah. Oh, right, minus 330 pixels. Yeah, we still get that overlay. So position fixed it is, because once you add position fixed, the div is no longer in the document flow. Alright, perfect. So it's hidden, we can't see it, and now what we're gonna do is whenever we click on this, it appears. So we're gonna be doing that with jQuery, and so we're gonna say nav toggle dot click function, and then let's see, I'm gonna try and animate it, but I'm not sure what the effect was. So I think it was slide nav dot slide left, was it? No. I'll pause the video and I'll check, because I want to make it a little short video than the last one, but I'll pause and I'll be right back. Alright, so that was really embarrassing, but I had totally forgotten because I haven't done that in a while. But basically, actually as soon as I paused it, I remembered. We're gonna do something else. So we're gonna say, because when we do animate, we also have to check if it's toggled, and if it's not, it still works, but we might not get the desired effect. But by the way, it was, if you do want to do it with animate, it's not, there's no such function as slide left. But it was animate and then right 0, and it works like this. I mean, sure, it works, but it's really not what we want. So what we're gonna do is side nav dot toggle class, and basically as soon as we say toggle class, we are already checking if it's toggled. So what's gonna happen is whenever we click on this, it's gonna say if it does have this class, then remove it, but if it does not, then add it. That's what toggle means. And then we're gonna toggle the class of toggled. Then we're gonna go to our CSS and say side nav toggled, give it a class of toggled, and we're gonna say right 0. Let's refresh and boom. But we have no transition, so we can add transition all 0.3 seconds ease, WebKit mods and everything. That works, but I actually had I had actually done this before, so I just basically copied the effect. So you can go ahead and copy it. It's cubic Bezier 0.57, 0.74, 1.06, and then I've forgotten to create the same for O, because we need that as well. There we go. Is it right? Yeah. So now let's just test it out. And you can see how it's a little bit, well, actually let me clear my cache because I'm not really sure if it's loading. You can see how it's a little bit jumpier. Now let's do 0.3 seconds ease. I think it's going to be a little bit better. I'm not really sure. Let's go back like this. Let's try it out like this. I think that looks pretty good, to be honest. It's not the jumpiest thing, like probably in Google, but I think it still works. So, I mean, you can mess around with it. So alright. What we're also gonna do, so we're basically done, but we can't close it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say search for close. So I don't know. I'm gonna use this. Let me just do this easily. Alright. Now, we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna basically say not caps, I class, and then nav close, like this. Then let's try it out. There we go. And we can say here, so basically what nav toggle, well, let me refresh. So whenever we click on nav toggle, we can open it and close it, but we can't really, well, we can't actually close it because it gets hidden as soon as we do it, as soon as we toggle it. But whenever we click on nav close, we don't want to toggle it because toggle means that if it doesn't have the class, it's gonna add it. So just in case, we're gonna say side nav dot remove class toggled. Let's try it out. There we go. Now let's style it a little bit, so we can go and say nav close, and then font weight 38. No, not font weight. Font size 38 pixels. Cursor pointer float right. Alright, but maybe we should say margin right 15 pixels. There we go. You can obviously go ahead and mess around with it, style it however you want, but we're still not finished. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do now. Let's say here we have something like hello. Oh, well, let me do it outside the site navigation. Hello world. This is my first website or something. When we toggle it, we want to add a little effect. It's really cool and it's really simple to do. So we're gonna write a comment. Well, actually, this needs to be on the very top of the body. So dark overlay. We're gonna be overlaying a little bit. We're gonna say div class equals dark overlay, and then we can basically close it on the same line. Now let's go here and style it right below the body. So dark overlay position. Let's do position fixed. Top 0, left 0, width 100%, height 100%, background color RGBA 0, so it's gonna be transparent 0.6. Alright, but we don't want, well, actually we're gonna say display none for now. Display none. So there we go. Now let's animate it here. So whenever we click the nav toggle, we wanna say dark overlay dot toggle. Well, yeah, toggle class toggled, and then basically remove the class here. So dark overlay dot remove class toggled, and let's go back to our CSS and say dark overlay dot toggled display inline block or whatever. Now let's check it out. Alright, it works, but just in case, we can add a little z index here. Where is it? On our side nav. So let's say like z index 110, and then here z index 100, just in case it doesn't overlap this. We can also animate it, so let's animate this overlay. So we can say transition all 0.3 seconds ease. Doesn't really work. Oh yeah, because never mind, we can't actually animate, transition display. So what we can do is actually, let me just try opacity 0. Yeah, but now it's still hidden. And then what was visibility hidden, was it? Yeah, there we go. So now let's try here. Well, we don't want this. We want opacity 1, and then visibility visible. And then let's add transition and check it out now. Transition all 0.3 seconds ease. Yeah, there we go. Now we have that smooth transition. Let's add the prefixes. So WebKit transition all 0.3 seconds ease, and then Moz transition all 0.3 seconds ease, and then O transition all 0.3 seconds ease. There we go. Nice. So one last thing. I mean, the clip is already long enough. Let's say we want to do, well, let's say margin bottom like 1,000 pixels for the body. Now we're scrolling here, but whenever we click on this, we can still scroll down, right? Well, you can disable that. I mean, you can leave it like this, but you can see how here we're still scrolling down. And if you don't want that, it's really easy to do. We're just gonna add body. Well, we're just gonna add body toggled of overflow hidden. And then you're gonna go here and basically target the body. So body dot toggle class toggled, and then body dot remove class toggled. Let's see, toggle right. Let's try it out now. And there we go. When we toggle it, we can't scroll anymore. So that's pretty simple. If you like this tutorial, please make sure to like it and comment down below if you want to see something else. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for this tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.